Hello, everyone. So now we can finally begin. Camila, we're so happy to have you
Mm.
here with us.
Thank you
And
so much.
we're training our emotional intelligence to,
Yeah,
to deal with
I think this is perfect actually, because when something doesn't work the way that we think it should work, or we lose the control of the situation, that's when we need to be really resilient and put ourselves in a place to have patience and understand the next steps. And I think this happens all the time in our daily routine, in our lives and business world. I'm a behavior neuroscience. I'm a specialist now, but I have worked for Starbucks in Brazil for 8 years. I was the CEO assistant, and every day we had something that was happening that we didn't know how to handle, or how things were going to flow, and to be able to not lose the peace of your mind, and how to interact with people. That's um, that's when we really need to understand that we are paid not just to make money or to make a company work, but also how to handle ourselves. So I think this is perfect, actually.
that. Yeah. So we began with like a practical
It's
way
a
to.
practical exercise.
So, Kamis, how would you define emotional intelligence in a way that feels accessible to everyone?
hmm I believe that we are raised in a way that we don't know how to handle ourselves. So even though we go to college, university, we study how to do something in a certain area in a company, but we actually don't know how to manage ourselves. If you think about how you're raised in your family, there is like this inheritance, this emotional inheritance that comes to you, and we need to be able to understand ourselves, but also this inheritance in our lives, and how we can manage our emotions, and not just bring a reaction into a certain way or in a situation that maybe is not going to match the result that you want. So, if you want to have emotional intelligence, or if you want to know what it is, first you need to understand yourself. I
Mhm.
would start that way, you know? I
So
don't know
you
if.
think yeah, but so emotional intelligence is something that can be developed, or do you think it's something that is like we are born with it, like we say in our family environment and everything, or do you think we can
Yeah,
develop emotional intelligence during our like
I think, I
lifetime?
Yeah, I think it can develop. I was born in a family, I was raised in a family that they are very sensitive. We are Italians. So every time something happens, it's like, your emotions comes first, and you need to say your opinion, and you need to fight for that. But my life was to work with CEOs, and they are very rational, and they think a lot before they make a decision. So although my emotions were trained to react all the time, around my 18s and 19 years old, I was having to face people that needed to stop and think and be very rational. So I was learning with them how to react in a way that I didn't know how to. So I think it is a learning curve depending how you're raised. If you want to, if you look to the goal, like if you look to the final goal of the situation or of yourself, and you think, I want to be on that place, so I need to learn how to be there, and this is my goal. This is the place where I want to go. And then I used to look to those people and see how they manage their families, manage themselves, manage the company, so I could understand myself and then match that, So you can develop, like when you are studying neuroscience, there is there's an arm of neuroscience that it tells you how you can develop neuroplasticity in everything that you learn. So you can learn that, but you need to be willing to learn. That's the thing.
Well, because sometimes, like you're saying that you're Italian, and here in the group we have like many Brazilians, and I think we are also a little bit like
Yeah,
with emotions. Sometimes emotions
yeah,
come first, and it's really hard to, like when you are dealing with the situation, to put to put this aside. So,
yeah,
do you have some like practical tips or advice when we are
yeah.
like in that kind of hard situation that we are facing, and then we need to just like stop and just like, no, this I'm reacting with my emotions, but like, how do you do this during like in our daily
Yeah.
lives?
Yeah, so just for me to understand, our group of people here, they are most
Mm-hmm.
Brazilians or they're most from other countries?
They said like we have Brazilians, we have people in Finland, and like all over the place. This is an open community because, as I told you, we are a staff agency, so
Yeah.
international company. So, but
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of Brazilians here, myself included. So that's why I'm also asking for me, how can I?
Yeah, I think like in a practical way, I would say try to understand yourself first, like especially inside of your house. How do you deal with situations with people that you know and that knows you really well? Because we are very comfortable with those people, and then we react in a way that there is no filter. So when you understand yourself on that position, you're going to understand how to react to a situation in your company or the place that you work. Not putting a filter, because if you put a mask, like if you try to put a mask every time you need to be emotional, intelligent, like you need to balance things, you're gonna get tired. So if every day you need to pretend or you need to face something that you don't know how to react, and then you just um, put yourself in a place that is not you, you're gonna get really tired, and you're gonna think that that place is not for you. But actually, you just need to train yourself how to be on that place. Of course, I'm not saying that you need to be in a place that is abused, that there is like an abusive situation, or the environment is not well, or the values is not the same of yours. But I believe you can put yourself in a place to train yourself in places that people knows you better. And then when you are with people that don't know you, you're just going to be you, like it's your identity to be like that, and it's going to be more natural. And then people will see you as a mentor, as someone that they can look as a model also. So what happened to me is that I started to understand this side of my family and how I was thinking about life. And I had this CEO that he was really trained to be a CEO. And because I was very close to him and I could see his reactions, there was a moment that I was reacting like him, like I was doing things in a way that was very wise, and he could see that. And then he started to train me to be a mentor in the business world. So
Oh.
I believe, of course, you're gonna be yourself. Like he was training me to be myself, but in a way that was wise. In my opinion, emotional intelligence is more about wisdom than you
Mm,
trying to be someone else. You know.
yeah.
So, because when you have wisdom, you can work with different kinds of people, different kinds of ages, and still
Mhm.
have the results for everybody. So, what I realized is that people want connection more than anything. So when you like, um, this is what I had in my mind. Sometimes we were on this meeting, like a staff meeting with all the CEOs and directors and managers, and we needed to see the numbers and we needed to understand how to continue and make a profitable company. And I could see, while I was there, I could see people's reaction, and I could see how they were looking at each other and how they were um, reacting to so many different situations and discussions. So when the meeting was over, I went to my desk and I started to write it down, like, this person I saw this person I saw that, this person I saw this. And then I started to go to their offices and say, hey, I realized that when we were talking about this, you were feeling that way. So, do you want to talk about it? Can I help you up with something? Can I make your work easily about this? Like, I was putting myself in a place that I wanted to make a bridge between the company and how they were feeling. Because
Mm,
the tricky part is people don't bring feelings to the business world, but they are always feeling something because you're a human being.
yeah,
So
that's
when
true.
So when you connect the human being with the place where they work, they're like, it's like therapy, like exactly, like I'm feeling that way. And then I was like, okay, let's try to understand and bring a result. Let's try to, and then because I was very close to the CEO, my speech was like, do you want me to talk to him? Do you want me to try to make a meeting between you two? uh, then the stress level of the person was coming down. That person was working better. My boss was working
Mhm.
better, and then I was the person that was bringing wisdom to the table. I don't know if
Mhm.
do you understand.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I get
sometimes
it.
emotional intelligence is not just how you handle yourself; it's how you bring
Mhm.
balance to everyone and the company where you are.
Yeah,
But
and
but
then
that sorry, yeah, you can say.
no, I cut you. You can just go ahead.
Hmm. That's why I was saying that if you know yourself better, you're not gonna overwhelm or burn out yourself. Because
Mhm.
I sometimes when you are in a position that you need to handle with a lot of responsibility, you can burn out really easily. Like today, I work with Americans. They are very workaholic and they don't have vacation. They don't stop, literally. Like sometimes it's my day off and I'm receiving calls and text messages and I need to handle myself and don't answer or just say, hey, today is my day off, can I answer you on Monday or Sunday? I don't know, depend on the day that I'm gonna work. So i I think it's all about how you know yourself. For
Mhm.
example, can I continue or do you want to ask another question?
No, I just want to open to like everyone. We're having like it's a open. There is a place here that you can ask questions to Camila.
Yeah,
So if you want to ask questions, we can like this is a
an
open
open
conversation.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Just go ahead, Camila. You can continue.
So, like, I have learned a lot during my journey not just studying behavior neuroscience, because neuroscience always says that you were the place where you were raised and the environment that you were raised. So a lot of what happens inside of us, it begins on that place, but also
Mhm.
how you eat, how you sleep, and how much you exercise. This also helps a lot. So like I go to the gym every day, and I try to have this disciplined life that is also going to help my hormones and my body to react to the situations. And that's something that I learned with leaders. Like they wake up every day at 5 a.m., they go to the gym, and then they have a good breakfast, and then they go to their meetings, and sometimes it's 3:30, 4 p.m. They go home, and looks like it's, oh, they're kind of lazy, they can work until 6, 7, but it's not. They need to save energy because of the level of responsibility, and they have families, and they don't want to get divorced. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's a whole um it's a whole it's a whole situation that happens inside of us for us to really build something sustainable and that
Mhm.
will last.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think? Like, what are some early signs that someone might need to work, like, on their emotional intelligence? Like, what are the signs?
Hmm.
Because we are like the people to understand that, like, hey, I need to work on that.
Hmm. I think when you're very anxious, when you worry a lot about details and you don't know how to separate, when you are in your house, you still want to work or talk about work, or during the weekend, you don't know how to rest or just stay with your family, or if you're running away from your family to work more, there is always this signs that something's not okay. Like when it's hard for you to sleep the whole night, you wake up every time, when you're eating, like your stomach starts to hurt, that's a sign of stress or that you're not handling things well. If you it's hard for you to even use the bathroom, like it's when your intestine is not working well, it's a sign of stress and that you're not handling situations well. um, I don't know, people get dizzy, people um, get nauseous. There's so many things that happens in our body that literally is your body telling you that you're not okay. And we just continue, sometimes a lot of headaches. Um, and also, if you don't know how to have fun, like if you don't know how to laugh and just have a peaceful day, even in your work. How many people we know that they go to work and they go to a really stressful environment, and then they have to go home and there's traffic and everything. When they arrive in their house, they have their family to connect, but they just don't want to. And there's always something that will lack inside of us when you don't have the balance. But if you tell me,
Mhm.
Camila, my daily routine is very stressful because I live in a big city and I need to do so many things, and I have my family, and maybe the finance is not doing so well, just try to understand what piece you're missing. Is there a piece that you're
Mhm.
missing? Is there something in your life that you're just running and worrying, and you're not taking care of yourself, or you don't know how to not worry or not be anxious? Most of us don't know how to not
Mhm.
be anxious.
Yeah,
And when you're
that's true.
anxious and when you're worrying a lot, the root of that is fear. And when you're living in fear, your dopamine is so high that you cannot put your blood level down, and then you're gonna be stressed all the time. Even when you're talking, like
Mhm.
your voice is more authoritative, it's more like stressful. It's like you can feel that that person is always, who
Mhm.
wants to be close to a person like that?
Yeah,
So I think
true.
if you want to be a leader and if you want to influence, you need to look to yourself first. There's no other way. There's no other
That's
way.
great.
And
That's oh, that's
most of leaders that I worked, um they learned by themselves. Like they didn't went to a school, or they did, like they're like 60s years old, 70 years old. They had to learn by themselves. That
yeah,
generation, they didn't have the information that we have. And
that
they
we
have
have today.
families. Most of them are internationals that went to Brazil to start a new life, and they did it. So
Hmm.
I believe that we need to think a little bit more that I can do it. It's on me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like we have two questions here.
Mhm.
I want to ask you, like, what would be the balance between bringing emotion to the company? Sometimes I see that when we bring too much of this approach of a family place, there is confusion about it and no barrier of talking or taking full accountability that you are in a workplace environment.
You mean like, can I see the question or is just you?
Yeah, is it like here on the question mark here? It's like, what will be the balance between bringing emotion to the company? Because the company is a professional place, and
Okay.
then if you're kind of mixing, kind of like the approach of a family place, that it might be confusion about it, and like
Hmm.
sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the question.
Well, um, if you have a comfortable place to talk to your leaders about
Hmm.
this, like the importance to talk about emotional intelligence, I would start there. Like, it's really important to have the approval of your leaders before you start talking to people, because otherwise leaders will think, do you want to do something new and we are not a part of this? So I always tend to go to the leaders and say, hey, I have realized this, I think that we should do that, what do you think? And then maybe
Hmm.
you can bring ideas. So I would start with the leaders, like, hey, do you think we should do like an emotional intelligence lecture or training with our
Hmm.
people? I have, like, you're bringing results to a problem. That's what they
Yeah.
want, you know? So what do you think we like? I have seen that people are more stressed. I have seen that we are facing a lot in this company. What do you think if we do
Hmm.
like an online training with our people and just bring
Yeah.
like emotional intelligence or results in how to handle conflict moments in the company, and then
Hmm.
they're gonna be like, oh yeah, maybe we can help them with that, and or
Yeah.
just like, hey, I was in this training, this online training, or just I was just talking to this group of people, and they were saying
Hmm.
this and this and that. What do you think
Hmm.
about us bringing this to our environment, to our company?
Yeah.
I think we
Hmm.
always think in a business way, business world, like how to do this more in a practical way, like more,
Hmm.
even more violent, like we need to change this, we need to do this, and maybe just a conversation will help them to open their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, and also like one thing that I that is really like special about Humify is we have open like an open channel
Yeah.
with our CEO and also with our COO with Bia and
Mhm.
Ryan. So I think it's really important if you are feeling some if you have something to bring to the table, some like you said,
Yeah.
some like don't bring only the problem, bring the problem plus the solution. They
Solution. Yeah.
have too much on their plate
Oh yeah.
to
I think
yeah,
I
so
also
we have
believe. Yeah. I also believe it's our generation. Like we have a lot of things that are very different that we are dealing in this generation that is not
Mhm.
so normal. So probably when you bring results, it's different for them. Like we didn't have AI in the generation before
Mhm.
us, you know?
Yeah.
So our parents doesn't know how to work with AI, and we have to learn how
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's a lot of challenges that they didn't have.
Yeah. There's I think you have one more question here. I think it's a really like crucial question. How do
Mhm.
you make sure you are really understanding someone's emotion and perspective, especially in tough conversations or conflicts?
Yeah,
Conflicts. Yeah.
I
That's
would say that emotional intelligence, it's a lot about listening. So
mhm,
what happens to us is that we don't listen. We literally, when someone is talking to us, we are literally like thinking, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe, oh, this person's so wrong. Look what the person's saying. Like, we never listen or see the signs of what that person is giving us. I always say that nothing is hidden. Everyone give us signs of everything, but we don't see it. We don't want to see it. So every time someone is talking to you, or if you are in a meeting or any place that you are, just be aware of the environment. Be aware of people. Be aware of the
mhm,
of what the person is telling you. You know, like if you look at me right now, I'm open. Like I'm not like this. I'm not like
mhm,
resisting your questions. You know, like I'm listening and I'm trying to bring results to you. So just
mhm,
try to listen to the signs. You will see if the person is resisting you or if that person is not listening. There are a lot of times that I was talking to people and I could see that they were resisting. And they were resisting me or the subject, or they don't want to listen. And I was just like, hey, I know that maybe you're tired, or this subject is not what you want to talk about, but this will bring a lot of results and this will help us a lot. Can you just try to engage to what I'm saying? Even like when you are talking to your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend,
mhm.
whatever, like just try to listen and bring results. People are so tired. You know,
Yeah.
we're always so tired. We live in some, like there's so many problems happening right now. So I think that when you bring compassion, patience,
Yeah.
peace,
That's the key.
like try
Yeah.
to engage in a way that you're not a problem. You're trying to bring a
Mhm.
solution. And
Yeah.
if the person is like tired or don't want to listen, if you approach like that, if you really see the signs and try to manage the conversation in a better way, maybe I have seen people come to me and say, hey, this is not the time for me to think about this, let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like the person will open a place, a space for you to talk more about it in the moment that she's ready.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also important to know, like you said, the limits and also when to
I
talk,
think
when to listen.
yeah,
Yeah,
we always want to resolve the problem. Like even inside
yeah,
of the house, like when your kids are like screaming and you cannot handle that anymore, you just scream like, "Be quiet!" Like you just scream, like you want to resolve the problem. But
yeah,
um, sometimes the way that you resolve the problem that will last. Think how you're gonna resolve the problem that will last. It's not gonna be a problem every day. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think that we have time for one more question and then we can wrap it up because I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to. Is that a tool that helps balancing self-paced productive, avoiding anxiety?
Mm-hmm. I would say if you have anxiety, um, try to have some breaks during your day. Like, try to breathe a little bit, go for a walk, even inside of your office. Try to bring your mind to a place that you can have more clarity. Take deep breaths. If you need to see a doctor or a therapist, that will help, of course, but try to break your day and have space for yourself. so you can manage and see yourself. I think anxiety is more like I don't see myself. There's so much happening and I don't see myself. So try
Mhm.
to have space for yourself and just relax. Think that way. We are all different people. So if you
Mhm.
try to manage your daily routine in your life as the other person, maybe you're gonna stress and burn out. So try to bring your routine in your day how in a way that is how you manage, how you work yourself. You're gonna
Mhm.
have a lot of that will help you to produce more, to have better results in your daily routine when you do things in your way and how your
Mhm.
identity works.
Oh, wow,
Mm.
what a conversation. Camila, thank you
Mm.
so much for sharing your
Oh,
wisdom and your insight with us. This was such an eye-open discussion.
oh.
And I just, any final thoughts or advice for us as we
Mhm.
continue developing our emotional intelligence?
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a great job just to be here and discuss and learn more about life and how to manage the workplace. I would say sleep well, exercise, have fun, and then make money. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great advice. I think Dia is
Yeah.
like, yes, guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Camila. And maybe we
Thank
can
you
have
guys.
you back again in the near
Of course.
future so we can discuss
Yeah.
more about, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really
Thank you so much
great,
for inviting me. And I'm here for you guys. If you need anything, just let me know.
yeah, thank you. So guys, have a great rest of the week. I hope this conversation was also like an eye-opening for you. Just write some things, some insights if you want to uh, talk with someone. We are also here to listen and to move forward together. So thank you so much, and I see you next Wednesday. Yes, bye.